I want to talk through the process that you all are using to attract real estate deals. And I'm going to share a pretty simple framework that I know like I've used, and hopefully this will help you all attract deals as well. Now, Twana is has done a few more deals than Ronnie and Julian, but I think this is going to help us all really to talk through this. And then, as usual, we'll have some homework for this as well. All right. So as I pull these slides up, I would like to find out what are you all doing right now to attract deals, if anything? What are you doing right now to attract deals?
So one major thing is attending meet and greets or conferences or things like that, or joining up with chambers of just groups that you have like-minded people, like chambers of commerces or WhatsApp group, Facebook groups, even like in the neighborhood group that we're in. We just look for anybody that's see any posts that we see that could be a potential. That's one way. And another way is talking to our friends. We started to have the conversation about we learned from a video we watched. There's a guy called Tachi Nguyen. He talks about how he announced himself to his friends, "Hey, I'm in the market for homes that are in this." He basically gives you like a script of what to ask for. So we started doing that. I did it with my friends. I think my mom has as well. Just letting people know that you're an investor who's interested in properties. If you have a friend or if you know someone that's interested in selling, let me know. And then that just like a gateway to get people to send us things. But also just as we drive around, I think I mentioned this to you, but whenever we go, we just look at a neighborhood or have an app on the phone, just look for if you see something like it's a for sale sign, or if you see something that looks almost abandoned, or just seeing what's out there. But if so far it's gonna be that type of thing, it's just trying to get referrals by joining groups or trying to just drive around and see what we can find, and then just Google it or Zillow it to see if it's on the market or if it's what's the property details about. And then from there, it's just nothing has moved after that. We have approached a couple of owners, like there's one per property next to our house. We approached them, but they're too high on the price, and so we just kind of left it there. So we haven't done too much of that, like actual interactions with owners, but we hope to get more, like actively start doing that next step of talking to the owners and talking to them and maybe communicating through either text or something else like that.
Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be helpful. You mentioned a bunch of different things. Like, I think I'll ask this question here. So, like, how many sellers have you talked to in the last 7 days?
One,
Okay. That's actually good. So you've talked to one seller. Twana, what about you? How many sellers have you talked to in the last 7 days? You're on mute right now. If
Okay.
you are you available to talk, or I'm just gonna make sure I don't, if you're just trying to listen in.
Oh, no, yeah, I am. I
Okay.
just got in a little bit ago. So five, probably five now, five people.
Okay, five in the last 7 days. Okay,
Mm.
this is actually great. And so I'm going to challenge both of you, Julian, when you listen to this, I'm challenging you to make sure that number goes higher and higher every single week for the duration of your real estate investing career. Okay. So right now, Ronnie, that number is one. That is amazing because the number is zero for probably 90% of people who say they want to do real estate. Okay. You have to be having conversations with sellers in order for opportunity to come your way. Okay. So, Twana, you've had five conversations. The goal each week is let's see if I can have more conversations. And these don't have to be super long to count as a conversation. This could be 5 minutes, it could be 1 minute if you're talking to somebody who owns property and you're finding out if they have a problem with that property or if they're willing to sell that property. So, like Twana, I know you're working on one right now in Mansfield. You get that realtor on the phone and you're finding out like if they're really willing to sell it or what's the situation, that counts as conversations with sellers if you ever get that realtor on the phone. All right. And then how many new people know what you're looking for this week? That's the second part of the question. Okay. So how many new people know what you're looking for this week? Have you met anybody new this week or talked to anybody new and you told them what you're looking for?
So we attended a few functions this weekend. So yeah, I would say
Hmm.
about maybe four, 3 to 4. It was like little get-togethers, and we met a couple that actually are just got a house, and they have obviously friends in the area, and they're about 2 miles from us. So we share with them. Yeah, we're also interested in getting into this. So actually, I have a buddy that I'm going to bring to the mixer. I think I told you about this. Maybe I didn't, but he lives again in the area, and I told him about this, and he wants to do the same. It's one of those things where I just everybody I meet, sometimes the conversation comes up and say, "Hey, I'm actually trying to get into this." So I'll say about 3 to 4 people.
Yeah. And that's exactly the type of conversation that you want happening every single week, if every day if possible, right? Where you're telling people, I'm getting ready to flip a house, or I'm getting ready to buy my next rental property, or I'm learning how to invest in real estate, or I'm looking for money for deals, right? You want to be
Yes.
having conversations and you want to increase the number of people who know what you're looking for every single week. Okay. A good way to think about this is it's not about how much, right? So, this, I've told y'all several times, this is not going to be a course, right? This is not something where you're just learning information. It's also about who knows you. Okay. So, how many people can you get to know that you're a real estate investor? The more people that know that you're a real estate investor, the more deals that could potentially come your way. Okay. The more you're going to attract. When I first got started, I was teaching. I was a teacher at Ole Miss at a college when I first started real estate. And so most people knew that I was a teacher. That's how I identified myself. I'm a teacher. I'm a principal of schools. I'm in education. I love my school, my kids, all of this stuff. The problem with that is if people think of John Crutchfield as a teacher or a principal or a professor, they don't think about John Crutchfield when they get ready to sell their property or when their mom gives them a house and they don't want nothing to do with it. And this bothered me for a long time because I didn't want people to know that I was doing houses on the side. I wanted people to just keep calling me Dr. Crutchfield and think of me as a teacher. But your business can explode. Your
Hmm.
business can absolutely explode when more people know what you're doing. So everybody should know that Twana is a real estate investor. That's what she does. She's a landlord, or she buys houses, she buys apartments. You want people to know that. Pop quiz, Twana, how many new people know what you're looking for this week? How many new people?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have to say 0 this week.
Yeah, so we want that number to go up every single week. Okay. And we're about to talk about how to make that number go up. Okay. But you want that number never to be 0. We never want the number of sellers we're talking to be 0, and we never want the new people meeting us to be 0. Because if it's 0, that means that we're not going to attract what we're looking for, right? And Twana, for you in particular, if you've talked to 5 sellers, those 5 people should also be new people that know what you're looking for. Even if they did not want to sell their house to you, you still can tell them, I'm looking for properties. I buy properties, and you tell them what your criteria are because you never know. Like, they may call you back with a deal, they may call you back with somebody else in their family that's selling a house.
Okay.
So if I'm talking to a seller and they definitely are not going to sell to me, one of the questions that I think of sometimes, because I don't always think of it, but one of the questions to think about sometimes is, do you know anybody else I should call? Or do you know anybody else that might have what I'm looking for? Do you mind? You've heard me say this, Twana. Do you mind if I text you my information just in case you want to talk to me later? Because what happens is people are at a barbecue. Ronnie's like, you're at a function, and somebody's like, oh, I'm trying to sell my mom's house. It needs a lot of work. I'm trying to find somebody to buy it. And Ronnie could be like, wait, let me look at my phone. I just talked to this guy who said he wanted to sell his house. And, this guy, you need to talk to this guy. So the more people who know what you're looking for, the absolute better. Okay. All right. So let's think about how we can get more leads. Okay. Tell me what you all see when you're looking at this picture. What do you all see?
Leads equals business equals dollars.
Okay.
I think from this one, what I see is it starts off, the mouth at the top is a big mouth, meaning that, and I use this when I'm thinking about, there was a event that I hosted with my mom, Papa Meets Business. I don't know if I told you about that, but we would we would reach out to 400 people and they'll register. But we know that if 400 register, you might get 100, maybe 50. So this is the analogy I'm looking at, is the mouth at the top, the leads might be a big number, but the opportunity that equals dollars, which the deal, quote unquote, might be one. So yeah. And that's for all businesses, because that's the funnel is business. So any business, you have a lot of, the opening mouth is bigger, but the small mouth that brings money might be one of those is money generating. The rest might just be things you're collecting.
Yeah, ultimately, all of us are in this because we want more money, right? We want what money does for us. We want better quality of life. We want to grow our income. We want to grow the possibilities for our family. But if you look at this funnel, okay, you can't get to the money without leads. Okay, you cannot get to the money without leads. I can tell y'all this, and I can speak from my own experience. Whenever I'm complaining that I don't have enough money, the problem is always a lead problem. Okay, it's always a lead problem. Which one of these would you all prefer? Would you prefer to have too many customers and not be able to service them all? Or would you prefer to have not enough customers and be searching for customers? Which one of those would you all prefer?
Too many.
Look, I want too many customers. I would rather have to tell my customers that you got to wait a year because I'm so busy than to not have customers and be looking and knocking on doors for customers. Okay. So, what you really want to create, if you're going to really build a real estate business, is a lead generation system, some kind of funnel where you're always getting leads. Like you need leads. In my business right now, I tell my team every day, we need more leads. Give me leads. I need people to talk to that might sell to me, that might be a coaching student, that might be, we do repairs on properties for people. I need people that have problems in our funnel. That's what I need, right? And so, whatever I can do to increase the number of leads, that's what I do. And as a real estate investor yourself, you want the same thing. You want to be doing all the things necessary to attract new leads. Okay. You want to create a lead problem. Okay. That's what you want. Now, you might not be able to do all the deals. That's a good problem. Okay. It's a way better problem than not having enough deals coming in. So
Right.
that's kind of what we're talking about, is how do you make it to where you have so many opportunities coming your way that you know that you're going to be able to do some business. I have not closed a real estate deal in probably 8 years, but I meet people all the time who go a month, 2 months, 3 months, and they haven't done a deal at all. What do you think their problem is?
Lead.
It's a lead problem,
Mhm.
right? They're not attracting enough opportunities, okay? And so they spend their time looking. They're looking for deals instead of deals coming to them. So we're going to talk about how to get leads to get in your funnel, okay? All right. So you've heard of all of these strategies, right? These are lead generation marketing tools, okay? And I'm going to say this, and I hope it helps. All of this works. All of this works. You can make content online. Y'all probably have seen I post content online. You can send emails looking for deals, okay? You can do Facebook ads or Instagram, TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads, okay? That works. You can also write real estate related blogs. People looking for how to invest in real estate find your webpage, and then they read your stuff and they contact you. That still works. Social media is free. It's free lead generation, absolutely free marketing. Okay. You can also give people a product to try. That still works. I do that all the time. I'll send a free book or a free ebook or a free document. Right now, yesterday, I created this AI document. And so we're using that to send it to people totally for free so that they will contact us. We need leads to talk to. And referral marketing also is a way to generate leads. So you're also telling people what you do, and you want people to remember you and refer you. Like, okay, maybe I don't have something right now, but have you checked with this person? Referral marketing is fantastic for lead generation. Okay. So all of these are lead generation type strategies. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that you leave with at least one of them that you're going to commit to, right? We want you to leave with one of them. Y'all, you do not have to do all of these. Did you know that you could generate leads using just one strategy? Just one strategy. If you do that one strategy consistently, you can make a lot of money off of just one strategy. A lot of people try to do a whole bunch of strategies. You can actually make a lot of money if you pick one strategy. Okay. So let's talk about strategy number one. Okay. Be everywhere. Be everywhere. Okay. If you think about products that we all use and you think about the marketing that those companies do, they are everywhere. Okay. One of my favorite companies personally is Apple. I'm an Apple fan. Okay. I'm an Apple guy. I use an Apple computer and an Apple watch and an Apple phone and an Apple Plus on my TV. I like Apple. Okay, y'all might not like Apple, but I like Apple. Apple is everywhere. You see their commercials on TV. You see their phones in everybody's hand, right? They have a website. They do conferences. Okay. They do all of these things to make sure that their brand is everywhere. You see somebody using a computer. On the back of their computer, you might see a little Apple on it. They're promoting themselves everywhere. So, as an investor, I want you thinking anytime you get an opportunity to be everywhere, you should be everywhere. Okay. This could mean you physically being everywhere, it could mean you digitally being everywhere. But you want to be in as many places as possible. Okay. I'm going to pause for a second and ask y'all to repeat what I'm about to say. Okay. So I want you to repeat what I'm saying. I hope you're paying attention. I want you to repeat what I'm about to say. It is not about, okay, it is not about who you know. It is about who knows you.
It's
No,
not about who you know,
no,
it's
it's
about who
about
knows
know
you.
you.
That's it. It's not about who we used to say that growing up. We used to say, oh, it's about who you know. They got that job because of who they know. They got a favor because of who they know. No, in our business, it's about who knows you. Okay. You want to create a brand or something where people know you. When people say John Crutchfield or Twana Watson, Ronnie Burgahunga, did I say it right? Baruhanga.
Close.
Baruhanga.
Yes.
Biaruhanga. Like you want people to say your name. It might be Ronnie B, right? That might be your brand.
Right.
But you want people, you want to be everywhere where people think of you as a real estate investor. Okay. Twana has a really cool name of her company. Twana, is yours Gold Key Investments?
Yes.
So Gold Key Investments, that's a cool name. It's like, how are you making sure that name is everywhere? Okay. How are you making sure that name, especially for your customers, okay? How are you making sure that name is easily findable? Okay. Do you want your customer to have to struggle to find you, or do you want your customer to easily find you? And the easier it is for your customer to find you, the more business that you'll do. So, strategy number one, be everywhere. Okay. Strategy number two, oh, and I'm going to talk about this one. Know your customer and where your customer is. Do not waste your time on poor leads. Okay. You got to know who your customer is and where your customer is. Okay. In my business, I don't waste my time unless I'm pretty sure that it's my customer. Okay. And if you're looking to flip a property, if you're looking to find a good rental property, you got to know who your customer is. Twana, I don't know if you would agree with this, but I know my customer very clearly. Don't waste time on people that's not my customer. Okay. My customer is got a problem. They're divorced. Maybe somebody's dying, it's hospice related issue, a tired landlord, a retired person, or they're extremely wealthy and they just don't need the money. I bought something this week from a guy and he just didn't need the money. Bought a house this week. He just didn't need the money. He could care less how much I gave him. He just wanted to get the property off his hands. That's one of my favorite type of customers. Do y'all believe that exists? Do y'all believe that there's people so wealthy that they don't need the money?
Yes.
They are out there. They don't need the problem. They don't need the headache. We're used to talking to the customers who want as much for the property as possible. That's not your customer. Like, why waste time on people that are not divorced, hospice, tired landlord, retired, extremely wealthy, or they need cash? When I'm talking to people, don't necessarily ask these questions, okay? Because it would be weird if you just walked up to somebody and say, are you divorced right now and you're about to sell your house? That would be weird, right? But I'm listening for if they are my customer. And you don't waste time on leads that don't meet these criteria. So Twana, right now, you were working on a deal, this deal that could be a short sale, right? As quickly as possible, you need to get to the facts. Is this a deal or is this a situation or not? Strategy number two is your customer. A short sale is good for you. If the bank will take less, that's generally good. But you need to know that the bank will take less. You don't need to waste a lot of time if the lead is poor. If they're not going to take less, move on. The number is almost more important than the property itself. Like, what is the situation? That's another situation that we could add to this list. I think you told me that property is a mess, right?
Yeah.
That property is a mess. That's my customer. Like they are upside down. That would be what would go on this list. A
Right.
customer that owes more on their property than the property is worth. That's
Right.
called upside down. Strategy number 2, don't waste time on poor leads. Excuse me. Do not waste time on poor leads. If somebody tells you, I don't need the money and this is not something, like they're just trying to get as much for the property as humanly possible, you're wasting your time unless you can find out their problem. And some people will tell you that, but the more you listen to them, you start realizing you actually have a problem. Twana and I, we did a call earlier this week. We talked to a lady who was like, her brother had died. Twana, am I telling this right? Her brother had passed away, and she wanted a certain price for the house. And she just felt, I'm not going down at all. I'm not going any lower whatsoever. That's how she was. But as you kept listening to her, she started describing problems. She started saying, oh, the lawn care. I have to pay for the lawn care. Then she started talking about having to pay for the utilities, the water bill, the light bill. Then she started talking about having to put in a new stove and a refrigerator. You're listening to see if it's worth your time or not. People with a problem, eventually, they will accept a solution. When that problem gets on their nerves enough, people with a problem eventually will accept the solution. It might not always be the first time you talk to them, but eventually, if you can position yourself like you can solve their problem, they will eventually accept the solution. So, strategy number 2, know your customer. Okay. This really applies if you're looking for a property that has equity. Remember earlier in the week, we talked about if you're looking for a deal, you're looking for something that's worth more than you're paying for it. This really applies because otherwise, people don't have a reason to sell something to you for less than it's worth. Okay. So you really want to know your customer. Don't waste time on poor leads. Okay. Strategy number 3, networking. Okay. This is a great strategy. Okay. Twana, Ronnie, Julian, at some point over the next week, your homework, I want you all to have a conversation with each other. Right. Have a conversation with each other. Talk to each other. But also, you have the option to attend local meetup groups. This month, ours is going to be on the 15th. So next Thursday. Next Thursday, we're going to have one here in Mansfield. But there's local meetup groups all over the place. Meet other people. This is a strategy. The more people who know you, okay, the more people you can attract leads from. The more lenders who know you, the more attorneys who know you, the more contractors who know you. Y'all, I get leads from everybody. I get leads from all kinds of people that I meet. And I text them and I email them. And I'm constantly reminding them that I'm a real estate guy so that when they have an opportunity, hopefully they will bring it to me. Okay, they'll bring it to my team. So you want to meet as many people as possible, local events, national events. Okay, this is a great place to find out what's going on, what other people are doing, what strategies are working. Luckily, we're in DFW. Y'all, there are meetups related to real estate every single day here. There's something going on where people are meeting up about real estate every single day. Evenings, lunchtimes, Saturdays, Sundays, there's always meetups. We have 7 million people plus here. Okay. A couple of places you can look for these events. You can look on a website called Eventbrite, right? Eventbrite will have some of these meetups. You can also look at a website called meetup.com, right? Meetup.com will have some of these events listed. There's all kinds of websites. Facebook groups, right? That's another way for you to find these meetups where people are investing, okay? Now, just remember that you're not going to these meetups just to listen. You also, the worst thing you can do, and I'm tempted, is anybody else in here an introvert? I'm an introvert. Is anybody else in here like you're nervous when you're around strangers?
I think my
Yeah.
mom a little bit.
Your
Yes.
mom is? Twana is? Okay, I'm an
Mhm.
introvert. Now, I try to get out of that shell, but I really am nervous around strangers and new people. Okay. The worst thing you can do, though, is go to a meetup, listen to the information, and just leave without meeting anybody.
Mm,
But that's easy for introverts to do because we be nervous. Okay. We
right.
be nervous. The best thing you can do is go to a meetup and make a goal and set a goal. I'm going to leave after I talk to this number of people. It might be 5 people or 10 people. I'm going to give my card to 5 people before I leave. Right? I'm going to give my phone number to 5 people. I'm going to get phone numbers from 5 people. Okay? Because meetups are a great place for you to make new friends, build new relationships, and have people bring you leads. That's what you want. You want people to bring you leads. Of course, I believe in masterminds, so I'm glad y'all chose to work with me here. But masterminds have had a huge effect on my ability to bring in leads. Okay. So this is another strategy for you. Okay. All right. Strategy number 4, pay for them. Okay. You can also pay for leads. And y'all will have access to this presentation, but there are lots of ways that you can pay for leads right now. Okay. You can use virtual assistants. I have virtual assistants that are working for me right now, calling, looking for opportunity, right? Facebook, Google, LinkedIn. You can pay marketing companies to find deals for you, partnerships. And this is something where if you all have specific interest in this, y'all can reach out to me. If you want referrals to particular companies, just let me know. Of course, you can do radio ads, TV ads. You can host a commercial, right? You can do all of this. Or, of course, you could pay a wholesaler. And y'all, in DFW, I buy deals from wholesalers all the time. If you don't want to be the person cold calling or finding the property or anything like that, you could always just pay a wholesaler for the lead. Wholesalers sell off market opportunities. They have done the marketing, they have done the cold calling, they have paid Facebook or Google or the pay per lead company, and they're charging you for that deal. It's totally okay to pay for a deal if the numbers still work for you. Okay. So this is another strategy, pay for them. This is also the most scalable strategy. The other things that we talked about, they're a little bit harder because it takes time. You got to put in your time. You got to be there. You got to be on the phone. These strategies, you can have your money working for you, or you can have other people working for you. That's always a good way to get leads. Okay. This is probably my favorite one right now. All right. We talk about sweat equity. Okay. Sweat equity. This is door knocking. Okay. This is cold calling or text blasting. Tawana, is it sweat equity to text and cold call?
Yes. Yes.
It's sweat equity, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
You've door knocked too, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Hey, these are strategies that work. If you don't want to spend money, spend your time. Okay. These strategies absolutely work. Okay. In fact, some of these strategies work better than paying for leads because there's not as many people door knocking right now. That's for sure. There's not as many people knocking on doors, calling real estate agents. That's another strategy. Hey, Mr. Real Estate Agent, I'm looking for a flip to buy. Do you have anything? Hey, Mr. Real Estate Agent, I'm looking for my next rental property. Do you have anything? These are examples of sweat equity. Bandit signs still work. Still work. Bandit sign, you put on the sign, I'm looking for my next house to buy, or I'm looking for a property to buy. We'll buy a property in any condition. Put your phone number on the sign. Don't forget your phone number. Ask me how I know. Okay. Put your phone number on the sign, stick it in the ground, and answer your freaking phone when people call. Because people will call. If you stick that stick that sign in a high traffic area, especially if you put a lot of them out, people will call you and tell you, hey, I'm trying to sell my house. Will you buy it? It still works. Now it's sweat equity. Okay. It's sweat equity, but it still works. 100% still works. Okay. All right. I think this is a good place for today to stop as we talk about generating leads. And now let's do the real work. Okay. Let's do the real work. What is just one way that you're committed to having more people know about you, okay, this week? What is one way that you're committed to generating more leads this week? And this is very personal. Like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But I am going to hold you accountable to what you commit to. So, what is one way that you're committed to generating more leads this week?
I'm gonna
What you
take the
thinking?
approach of the be everywhere and look up some of the Eventbrite events that are tied to real estate in some way and attending.
Okay, attending some events. Okay, Julian, you're on here. Are you still in the meeting?
We could go together.
Okay, so you all will. Okay, is it safe to say that you're going to look for at least one event to attend this week?
That's correct.
Okay, keep in mind that this event could be local or it could be online. Okay, it absolutely could be local or online. So if you don't see something local, then find something online.
Okay.
Would it help, Ronnie? Would it help if I tell you about a few that I know about?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. All right. So would you prefer local or online?
Either one. I think if online, maybe there might be more options online, but either one.
Okay. Okay. So there's a group that meets every Wednesday, and they meet right before we meet, so it doesn't conflict with our time. There's a group that meets every Wednesday at noon. Let me find it here. Dom speak. Okay, here it is, right here. All right, May the 7th. Yep, so they met today. All right, so they teach wholesaling, they teach sub-2, they teach novations. This is really a good group. They do a lot of live seller calls too. So if you like live seller calls, I will put in the chat box I think I'll just put the Zoom link, and I'll also put the name of the meeting. And y'all, this is actually not a bad idea for us if we all just wanted to pick a day and say we were going to attend this so we could hold each other accountable. This is not a bad one for us all to attend. But this is AI Speakly's wholesaling / novation training each Wednesday at noon Central Time. So this one is virtual, Ronnie. This one is totally virtual if you wanted to attend a virtual meetup.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, so I just put that in the chat box. If you're interested in a in-person meetup, okay, Fauna, you're familiar with Robin's meetup here, Dallas Real Estate Investing Club. That is an option.
Yes.
It's called the DFW Real Estate Investing Club. They meet on Saturdays. They meet every Saturday in the morning. I think they meet around 9 a.m. on Saturdays. Sometimes they're half day classes, sometimes they're full day classes.
Right.
So this is an option for the in person, and I'll put that in the chat box as well. They do Saturdays at 9 a.m. I'll put the website address in here. How about that? That way you can see what they have coming up. DFW Investment Club. They meet in Fort Worth. All right, so I put the link to that group in the chat. That might have been an accident. There's the link. All right, so those are two options for you. You can certainly, of course, look up your own options. You can certainly, of course, look at your own options as well. All right, so Ronnie's homework, he's going to look at an event to attend. Now, Ronnie, when you're going to this event, your goal is not like you're going to be tempted, okay? You're going to be tempted, Julian, as well, to just get information, okay? But remember, for the next 12 weeks, I'm your coach. We're going to do a deal, right? We're doing deals. So, what you're looking for is a deal, okay? You're looking for a flip, you're looking for something that you can make money off of, right? So don't just go looking for information. You're meeting people, and your question should be, I'm looking for a real estate deal. I'm going to do a real estate deal in the next 3 months. Do you have anything? Does that make sense?
Roger that.
Is she talking to us?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what you want to do, Ronnie. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to say, do you have something you're trying to sell? What I do, Ronnie, is I listen up at these meetings. If somebody's a wholesaler, I want to meet them. Okay. If somebody is selling a deal, those are people you want to meet. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute you just because we can hear her pretty loud. But yeah, you want to be finding people that are actively doing deals. Okay. And then you want to attract them. Ronnie, do you have an email address set up for your business for your real estate investments?
No, we don't. But that's something that
Okay.
probably need to. Yeah, we kind of just use our
Okay.
personal emails.
Yes. So I want you to set up an email address. Tawana, I'm pretty sure you have this, but if you don't, I want you to set up an email address specifically for real estate investing.
Now,
Okay.
does that have to be like can you just make a
Doesn't
Gmail
matter.
account?
Doesn't
Okay,
matter. You're overthinking it. I just need an email address. It
got
can
it.
be a Gmail, it can be a regular email, but just I want you to have an email address. And it doesn't necessarily even need your name. I just need you to have, you probably already have an email that you could start using. Okay.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
want
yeah.
you to have a dedicated email that you give out for real estate purposes.
Got it.
Okay. Twana, do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The reason I want you to start doing this, Ronnie, is because when you're meeting people, everybody's going to want this email address, right? They're going to
Mhm.
want your email address. And I want you to give them this specific address because if you give a wholesaler your email address, guess what they're going to start doing?
Sending you deals.
They're going to start
Ready
sending you.
to
They're going to start sending you opportunities to look at. I can't say they
go.
all deals, but
Oh, right.
they're gonna start sending you things to look at.
Right.
And next week specifically, we're going over deal analysis, like how to analyze a deal. So if you do this, we might have to push that off one more week because I want you all to have some deals coming to you that we can look at. Okay.
Okay.
So Ronnie, give an email address out. And Ronnie, you might already be receiving leads like this. Are you receiving any leads like this where you're getting real estate deals sent to you?
Yes.
You
In
are.
the
Okay.
WhatsApp group. Yes, yes. In a WhatsApp group and in my email, one of the realtors that I met at a conference sends me listings.
Okay. Perfect. So when you get that email set up, I want you to put it in the group chat what that email address is. And
Mhm.
then next week, we should be able to pull some of those deals and just look at them. Okay.
Okay.
But when you're going to these events, give out a dedicated email address so that you have opportunities coming to you. I like to give out a certain email address so that sometimes I can just go through that email address and all I do for that hour is just look at what's out there. And another thing that this helps do when you're looking at deals often like this is it gives you an idea of what things are going for so that when you see a really good deal because you've been looking at deals all the time. Okay. All right. Twana, what's your homework? What are you going to do specifically to attract more leads? Which one area that you can commit to?
Driving for dollars.
Okay. That's happening this week.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're going to drive for dollars. And what are you looking for specifically?
All right, what is that?
You're just driving around like your area or a particular area you would like to market, and you're just looking for houses that look abandoned, unkept, vacant. Just everybody in the neighborhood or on that street is taking care of their property, and one that just it just
Right.
looks tacky. Yeah.
Okay. So, Twana, I need to push you a little bit further here because
Okay.
driving for dollars is a good strategy, but it could waste a lot of time. No, like, how is that going to get more people to know you? How is that going to, what
Oh, okay.
are you going to leave something on the doors? What are you going to do that makes people like that attracts leads to you? Because I know, like, I've had employees that drive for dollars a lot, but like they come back with a list of properties that look messed up that they need to skip trace and call, but then they don't they it could be a big waste of time because nobody really got to know you any better. So
Okay.
I would suggest either you leave something at the door of the house, or we try to figure out how you're going to get how are you going to get leads from that? You can't leave anything on the mailbox or anything like that, but
Right.
you can get out of the car and leave something at the door. You can leave a door hanger or a flyer. But yeah,
Okay.
and then let's put a number on this. Like, Ronnie's going to attend one event. So how many houses are you going to drive for dollars? Or are you also door knocking, or were you just driving for dollars?
Sometimes I only just drive for dollars because sometimes you're going somewhere and something that catches your eye, so you'll do that. But I can add in door knocking. That's no problem for me.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. So I would say, let me go back to the question. Okay, so the question is specifically what you're going to do to make sure more people know you. Okay. So if you think about driving for dollars, that's not going to make anybody know you. You might find a property that way, but it's not going to attract leads. It's unless you do something that causes people to call you. So I would probably add leaving a flyer or a door hanger or knocking if I was going to use the drive for dollar strategy.
okay, so knocking. All that.
If you're comfortable knocking.
Yes.
Okay. How many doors do you think you can knock before next week?
I'd say I can at least do 20.
Okay. You gonna do 20 in one day, or you gonna split it up?
Probably gonna split it up.
Okay, we'll check in on that next week as well. If y'all got a few more minutes, I would also encourage you, if you're not using social media for your real estate investing, I would encourage you to start posting on social media regarding your real estate investing business.
Okay.
Okay. This is a great way to let a lot of people know. Like, I'm looking at Twana Watson's Facebook page. You have 1.9, you have almost 2,000 friends on Facebook.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So if you look at that, what I really like is your intro says real estate investor. That's pretty cool. Okay. So when people see your page, the first thing I see, I'll share my screen just so everybody can see this. When I pull up Twana's page, the first thing I see, do y'all see the real estate investor under her intro?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is something you do to let people know what you do. Okay. But I also see that she really hasn't made a post since February 27th. Okay. So Twana, I want you to make a post and
Gotcha.
say, I'm looking to buy this is exactly what I want you to post. I'm looking to buy my next real estate deal. I'm going to post this in the chat. In
Okay.
the next 90 days, does anyone have anything I can look at?
Cool.
Okay.
That's simple and easy. I think I
Simple
opened
and
Start
simple,
it.
simple and easy. Post it. We're going to add that because Ronnie has 2 homework assignments too.
Okay.
So Fauna's going to make at least one social media post. Now, Ronnie, you can do this too.
I sure can. I sure will.
Make at least one social media post. Ronnie, but you also have the homework of finishing First Funding's pre-approval.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, I would make that post, Juana, because anytime you're looking for deals, people just need to know that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, good deal. What else are y'all working on that would be beneficial to talk about? When we do these meetings on Wednesdays, we'll start at 1 o'clock. Now, 1 o'clock was the time that Julian told me worked best for her. It works great for me. Juana, does 1 o'clock on Wednesdays work for you? Do we need to readjust this time? Because right now it's just us four, just us four. So do we need to move this time, or does this time work for everybody?
Yeah, for now. I don't. You
This
have any
works perfectly.
conflict?
This is,
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, Ronnie, you weren't on the call when Julian set this time, but this is the time that she picked.
yeah, no, I think when we met once, it was at midday. And so I thought it was going to be midday again, but
Okay,
it's
yeah.
okay. 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock is still fine.
Okay, yeah. We'll keep doing Wednesdays at 1 o'clock unless we say something different. And we'll try to stick to an hour so that y'all can do whatever else you're working on. But today we pushed it back a little bit. So hopefully that's okay. What else? Is there anything else y'all want to talk through before we jump off? A deal you're working on, a problem you're having, anything like that?
No, not at this
Hope to
time.
have something to share next week.
Okay, perfect. And look, you don't have to wait till next week. You can always share it in the group chat as well. I'd love to do that. Also, we have one more spot. So if you all have one more person that is an action taker, I don't want just somebody looking to not do a deal, but if you know somebody that's interested in doing a real estate deal in the next 3 months, we have one more spot. So just let me know and I'll reach out to them, or you can have them reach out to me. All right. Any Might have cut y'all off too soon. Anything else y'all want to talk about or work on?
No.
No.
All right, good deal. We'll talk soon.